I am. The living legend of hair loss and you know this. You know this. I'm the true alpha male. No one has ever disputed my claims. When I walk down the street, people say, "Hey, you're the true alpha male, right?" I'm like, yeah, that's me. And the reason we're shouting is because it's coronavirus. So, you know, if you're hey, why are you even outside anyway? But there was more than 6 feet and they were, people were shouting at me, "You're the true alpha male." So that's what it's like when you're Nick Shell. Let's check out some comments because man, there's psychology in comments. And it's funny because right now we're catching up on some movies. I own the first 3 Rocky movies on DVD. I've owned them since I was in college. And now my son, who's 9, I watched the first one with him. I said, "Hey, let's watch this." And I didn't think he'd care that much about it. He loves the Rocky movies. And so, unbeknownst to me, he ended up watching the second one without me. And so I guess I'll have to at least watch Rocky 4 with him. We'll maybe skip 5 and then go straight to 6 and then the 2 Creed movies. But my wife actually watched the first one with us and she's like, "Wow, that's a really good movie." I was like, "Yes, I told you that when we first started dating that we need to watch these movies because more so than a movie about boxing, it's a movie about personal growth and their relationship as a couple." So I'm very happy. My wife now is really big into the Rocky movies. My son is big into, so yeah, hey, that's a plus from coronavirus that we're living through. That I don't know that would have happened had it not been for this. So you have to look at the bright side. But in Rocky 2, towards the first 15 minutes of it, you catch an interesting glimpse of Apollo Creed in his mansion, his wife and his 2 kids. And remember, this is 1978 when Rocky 2 was filmed. Well, he's standing on the balcony of his mansion and he's reading all these letters that he's receiving of people accusing him of throwing the fight for a payout for how the first fight ended up. And it's the equivalent of comments on YouTube, because one's even like, you're making your own people look bad because he's a black man. Another one's like, "You should go kill yourself." I mean, all the stupid stuff people say in comments on YouTube was in that movie. Like, man, I guess things just don't change. So with all that being said, over 40 years, things don't change. I made a video called "No Flat Top in 2020. Why I changed my mind." So much psychology in these comments. They reflect about the person leaving the comment more so than who they're directed at. And actually, my wife and I watched this hilarious video. Colin Jost, one of the Weekend Update guys on Saturday Night Live right now. I was like, what does his stand-up look like? Because he got that job for a reason. Turns out he's pretty hilarious. And he has this one video on YouTube, you can look it up, how he's talking about how the worst review you can find online, if it's 5 stars out of 5, is a 2-star review. That's because any 1-star review is never putting down the business. It's about the person. Like, they're revealing too much about themselves. And they'll go on this whole monologue about themselves, but they're not actually putting down the business. So, and I've looked into that, and that is true. So again, often when you look at comments and you see that they seem aggressive or they're, somehow pointing the finger at the person who made the video, just think this is a reflection of the person who left the comment and how they feel about themselves. Because hurt people, insecure people try to make other people insecure, etc. So just check this out. Let's value this together. So Jean-Luc Bergevin, he has been watching my videos. He's actually one of the most faithful viewers I've had. And actually, in a couple months, it makes 5 years I've been making these stupid, silly hair loss videos that no one should watch because they're pointless. I'm admitting it openly. But he's been faithfully watching these videos. And I remember my first year of doing it, so that would have put me in my mid-30s. And he kept telling me, by the time you're 40, you're gonna be Norwood 4 and you're gonna be bald. And you should get a hair transplant now while you can. He was saying that nearly 5 years ago. And now that I am a year away from turning 40, I'm like, if I did go bald, that's fine, but I'm gonna have to lose some hair pretty quickly if I'm gonna be Norwood 4 by the time I turn 40. So he's been saying that. He's always telling me to go get a hair transplant. So check this out. His response to my video about not getting flat top, he says, "Just go to Turkey. this is bad enough to warrant risking corona. So, that's, again, it's like the trolling comment, and the same thing like Apollo Creed got those hate mail letters, just go kill yourself, you're making black people look bad or whatever. This is the equivalent of that. But click on the rest, click on the responses from that. So to which I said, a couple of years ago, you kept saying I'd be Norwood 4 by age 40. I turned 39 in less than a month. He says, forget the Norwood. It's about aesthetics, and you're past the point of no return without a hair transplant, which is all of you right now value that. You know that I don't care if I go bald. You know that I'm not going to get a hair transplant. I have no desire to. And he's been saying that consistently over these nearly 5 years, that I'm nearly past the point of it. Maybe I am. I don't think so. I don't care. But it's funny, like, how much aggression is in this comment, to which I said, that is a reflection of how you feel about yourself, which is why you are saying it to me. I wish that you could accept yourself as you are and not base your value on your hair. This is common in men under the age of 35, which I'm assuming that this person definitely is under the age of 35, because men who are mature and have life experience know that they're not valued on how they look, but instead how they treat other people and how they help other people feel good about themselves with their own insecurities instead of focusing on themselves. To which he responded, I was transplanted from roughly Norwood 4 to a Norwood 1. Women constantly tell me how nice my hair is, run their hair through it, and say how soft it feels. Everyone around me and around you values hair. This isn't about self-value. The world around you values hair. You don't get to decide that. So again, a reflection about how he feels, not how I feel, not necessarily reality, but how he feels. And then I won't continue reading, but someone kind of stepped up and, let's just see, agreed with me. So imagine in your mind actually believing, like so aggressively, like to the point that you're wishing harm upon someone. Like you're saying, yeah, it's worth risking corona to get a hair transplant, which in theory I would make the title of this video that, but then I won't monetize it, and it's already 7.5 minutes. So there you go. Imagine there's a lot of psychology in there. Sort it out. Make sure that you're on the right side of the thought process there. Because if you still believe the lie that you're being judged on your hair, then you're clearly not age 35. And if you are, that's a bad thing, because you should be more mature than that. Just like I said, you have to be this tall to ride. You have to have the maturity of an age 35 man, which I'm trying to give you. And if not, you need to step up and catch up and get to that point in living a life that actually matters, not superficially about your hair. People don't care about your hair. They care about you. But they might care less about you if you're that obsessed with your hair. Your comments are right here.